What does getting angry do? Rixara, let me be clear. I am a person who has gone to my capital to lobby. I am a person who has traveled the United States in order to help push political campaigns. I am a person who has made it a point to rescue people to get them out of the country. What does getting angry do? It fuels me. It gives me a fire that makes sure that I am continuing to do what I need to do. I am angry because I am scared. I am scared because I have a girlfriend who is a Native American who is also trans. And all it takes is somebody saying she looks non-American enough for all of this to come crashing down here. I live in Georgia, in the South, where that is very likely to happen. Getting angry may not solve and may not help, but it is in fact a component of motivation. Rixara says, easier said than done, unfortunately. I don't care. This is my job. It has been my job for an incredibly long amount of time now. It will continue to be my job for the next few decades if I have anything to say about it. My frustration is when I see somebody who says that they are not playing devil's advocate, but is simply trying to give me effectively something that could either be seen as devil's advocatry or alternatively could be seen as saying, instead put your head down, instead do other things. I will not do other things. I will not put my head down. I will continue doing exactly what I have been doing, and that is motivating myself and motivating other people to get politically involved to fix the broken system that we are in. I refuse to accept the broken system that we are in. I refuse to accept the current circumstances. I do not give two flying shits that it is hard. I do not give two flying shits that it will be difficult. I do not give two flying shits that it is something that will take time. I do not care. I do not have to care. I simply have to keep moving forward. And that is what I will continue to do, likely until the day I fucking die. I appreciate your perspective. Rixara says, the last few times we're attempting like No Kings movement fizzled out. Rixara, you know that the No Kings movement had a direct line into the DSA. The No Kings movement didn't fizzle out. The No Kings movement was a specific set of protests. The end result of that specific set of protests are still being felt today. A lot of that is being felt in how many DSA members are actively getting brought in right now into areas of the government. Mostly at local government levels, but that's where they can do the most good. I'm going to say something. I do not believe that we get Zoran Mamdani in New York in a world where we did not first have No Kings protests. The point of a protest is not to fix things. That's not what a protest does. It has never been what a protest does. The No Kings movement doesn't fizzle out. The No Kings movement is a set of protests. A set of protests' job is to get people connected over a shared grievance. It is that connection over a shared grievance that is used to fuel into other political action. No set of protests, no set of movements, no set of even riots lasts forever. Elsewise, every single one fizzled out. Sorry, Anderson says, bless as a white man, I have a lot of privilege. I use that privilege to stand with my LGBTQ community. However, isn't the country at a scale we're doing that against? Okay, that's... I hit yes on the auto mod thing, and then it reset where Rixara's thing was. So, if we are looking at the No Kings protest as if it is a thing that is supposed to lead to a particular type of policy shifts, that was never going to happen, because it couldn't happen in the time that it was done, because the No Kings movement happened during a time where Congress, the Supreme Court, and the executive branch have all been controlled by a singular party. However, the psychological validation of those demonstrations first gives a set of shared community and relief for the citizens who feel alienated by their political status. After that, they then meet friends. Hell, No Kings protests that I attended and filmed down at one of the parks in Atlanta, one of the things that directly happened as a result of that, in fact, one of the things that was actively pushed for by everybody who was involved with that protest, was to get involved in small groups with other people, exchange numbers, exchange information, and then continue to do things after the protest. Which leads to the next thing, voter mobilization and networking. The rallies are meant and have always been meant to be a launch pad to engage new activists who otherwise would not have been activists, to then join their community efforts to change things from the ground up. If we want to say, oh, well, what has changed? There are people from the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, who have actively gotten offices in the last year in my area. I have personally, directly seen the benefits from it. But you first have to get people to understand that they're not alone. You first have to get people to understand that their neighbors around them are willing to fight with them. Anybody who looks at the No Kings protest and says that, oh, they just fizzled out, wherever you get that perspective from, I think that it is coming from an incredibly incorrect spot. I don't want to say it's coming from a disingenuous place because, again, I know you. Also, thank you for the raid progress only. And yes, also fuck ice. I know you're not being disingenuous. You're trying to be realistic. I respect that. I get that. I also appreciate that. But I've also been involved in enough of this to see that there is a better horizon ahead of us. And I'm going to keep trying to push for that. I'm going to keep trying to push for making it happen. Like, their Discord stuff is still active and connected, which is a big thing, connecting people like that. Lately, and Cygander pointed out the DSA tracker, which is pointing the amount of people from the DSA who are actively getting involved in government. Involved as in they are getting and winning their elections. DSA membership was something that was considered damn near a joke. Rosara says, you mean the one vote that if I live in an area where my vote doesn't count to the section of my state is against my vote? Rixara, with all due respect, your vote still counts. It is... We don't do doomerism here, because if you want to say something that is non-useful, doomerism is non-useful. Your vote does in fact matter. Also, in terms of voting, like, it takes 3 minutes of a day, not counting your time traveling, which also does not take a whole lot in general, depending on where you are. Like, for me, my voting area is, what, 8 minutes from my house? It's not terrible. Also, yeah, Dorito's got a point. All it takes in your area is for people to feel like their vote doesn't matter. Like, literally, the thing that makes votes not matter is people feeling like their votes don't matter. We actually have people in the chat right now who could have had that exact same perspective and not only went out and voted, but also ran for office and won. Your vote matters. Arguing that your vote doesn't matter is literally just a doomer excuse to not get up and use it. Japagio says, what? Yes. Progress Only? Progress Only's real name is Alex DeWitt. You can publicly look up right now where Alex has won his election. Doxed. Progress has posted their stuff already. Doxed legally. If your vote didn't matter, millions of dollars would not be spent every year attempting to disenfranchise voters. Garita says, Republicans love when you don't think your vote matters. Yep. Yeah, this is why I'm an advocate for mandatory voting, as Little Firecat points out. It works in other countries. It can work here. Dorita says, I wish I could get into politics. Also, BT dubs. If we want to talk about the No Kings protest, again, just real quick, one of the most progressive mayors that we have ever seen in New York, who's been actively undoing corruption and actively doing things to help fix shit there, was Zoran Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani got most of his momentum for his campaign directly from No Kings. The No Kings movement in New York got him elected, in no small part. Everything you think doesn't matter, you think that because somebody has spent a ludicrous amount of money on propaganda to make sure that that idea stays in your head. And that is how it's been for a very, very long time. Every protest you think doesn't matter gets a politician elected. Every vote you think doesn't matter, there are people who have won their DSA general elections by a handful of 100 votes. Every time you think something doesn't matter, ask yourself who benefits from you thinking that. Because I promise you, the people who benefit from you thinking that do not have your best interest at heart. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.